Week number 4 Q&A. File on in. Let's get some trade discussion going. Breaking some news as it rolls in, or as we need to discuss it based on your questions. Phone calls will be had, super chats will be answered, and drafts will be commenced upon. So hit the like button, slap it, subscribe if you're new, and hit the code Smitty on Underdog. Let me drop the Underdog link right now here in the live chat. Underdog, boom, smash the link. There it is. We'll be drafting here. This draft is currently underway, but these are 36 pick drafts. They're very, very quick. So you can jump in the next one with me. You'll watch me draft from the 5 spot in this draft. The Fantasy Football Show Graveyard Edition Q&A show. Week number 4 Q&A show. Draft show begins right now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios.
It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live!
Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Slap the like button on the way in the door. And this draft is starting right now. I'm drafting from the 5 spot. This is a week 4 best ball battle royale, which means it's for week 4 only. There's 6 drafters. It's the morning and afternoon slate of games. No Sunday night game. Obviously no Thursday. No Monday game. So it's a condensed amount of players. So they condense it down to 6 drafters. And it's only 6 starting pieces, no bench at all. It's one of the more fun things to do at Underdog, in my opinion, and you can do so by hitting this link right here in the live chat. Code Smitty gets it done. It'll give you a free Patrick Mahomes pick if you hit that link. Also, you'll get 50% match on your first deposit, all the way up to $1,000. I'm on the clock here. Mahomes is very, very lowly ranked, as you can see. So part of me wants to go, man, I'm going to go Jamar Chase here and hope that Rice falls. I highly doubt he does, but I would love to get Rice with Jamar Chase and then Mahomes later. If this guy goes with a different receiver, I don't mind MHJ here, though. Honestly, I'd be fine with MHJ here, but maybe I'll get Rice. I'll be able to stack him with Mahomes, and it'll be a glorious little stack. Oh, there we go. Marvin Harrison Jr. Part of me is like bummed because I wanted Marvin Harrison Jr. Part of me wants Kyren Williams right here, as these are the best available players. You know, Kyron's going to have a day for sure, but I think we're going to go with the Rice and Mahomes stack later. Let's go back to board view. Jamar Chase, Rashee Rice, and then we'll have Mahomes. So loving this so far. Slap the like button, like I said, on the way in the door. Phone calls will be had. Just give me a minute on that. Super chats, you got a super chat, a question, drop it. And in fact, let's open up the phone lines real quickly. And if I have to cut you off and flush the line in order to get to the super chats or whatever, I'll do so. Trey Tucker or Michael Wilson. I'll go Michael Wilson. He had a pretty decent week number 3 in terms of targets, but Trey Tucker is pretty decent as well. They're about dead even young. I'd almost say just go with your gut, because I'm literally forcing an answer because it's such a 50-50 call. So that would be my advice to you, is go with your gut. Let me go back over here so you guys can see what's happening with the draft. Jordan Mason going in the second round here in his 6-man draft, 36 picks, 6 starting spots, no bench players. Trade Mike Evans for Olave. I'd rather probably have Mike Evans by a hair. I think he had some tough matchups, but it's very close to both. Either way, traded Olave for Ramondre. Traded Olave and Ramondre for Tyreek. So at the end of the day, it was Evans and Ramondre for Tyreek. It's okay. I think it could go either way. I don't think it's a horrible move. I think because you had some depth to do it, I'm fine with it. I don't think that was a bad series of trades for you. But yeah, I mean, it all kind of depends on Ramondre, right? But I would definitely bank on Tyreek if you're down bad or whatever, and you just want to mix things up. Okay, let's go. Running backs available. James Conner. Got Jacobs there. ETN's down there a ways. Don't love what's going on here. Kelsey. You know what? I'm going to go Kelsey here. And then probably going to draft Mahomes here, and I don't think I can squeak it by to the next one. His ADP is at 27, as you can see. So he's not even listed here. So his ADP is at 27 overall. If we go to the board view, it looks like that'll be cutting it close as we come back to this pick. So I kind of want to make sure I get my stack. I'm going to go Mahomes. So I've got Jamar Chase, Rashee Rice, Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes. This is a great Chargers matchup. I think this is the game that the Chiefs players explode. This will be definitely a time to stack it. So I like what I've got going on right here. All right. Thank you for the super chat, my guy, the bolt to the moon. This one here from TJ. TJ, I'm trying to knock these out as we go, and the phone lines are open. Go ahead and dial in if you have the number. Smitty, currently 2-1. If I don't give the numbers because the phone lines get so flooded, I'm cutting people off enough that I'm not putting the number up. If I put the number up, it's because we need calls. You know what I mean? So that's kind of why. Smitty, 2-1. Hurts, Achane, Saquon, Pollard, Debo, Pickens, Reed, Delph, Bowers, Braylon Allen, Wright on the bench. 2-1. What moves to make? Honestly, this is a pretty solid team here. Got a great tripod with the Hurts, Achane, Saquon stack. Then you've got Pollard, who's tradable. Debo, kind of hold him right now. Pickens, can't really get anything for him. Honestly, there's not much to move here. Unless you were to try and trade, you can't trade Achane on the high. You can't trade Hurts on the high. You can't trade anybody on the high except for Saquon. And I don't think you're in a position where you need to divide and conquer Saquon. I would just stand down, TJ. There's nothing else. You got Bowers is fantastic as well. Reed, I love Reed. Totally undervalued. I love Reed a lot. I'm going to say stand down, bro. You make a trade, the only trade you can make is dividing and conquering, and I don't like that. I don't think you need to dilute Saquon. Trade Burrow and Braylon Allen for Worthy and Charbonnet to the Brees owner. You've got Walker and Murray. Trade Burrow and Braylon Allen for Worthy, Sharbs. I don't think you're getting enough. The fair market value on that side of the trade that you're getting back isn't there. Doesn't mean that I don't like getting Worthy, but you're getting kind of taken in terms of trade fair market value. So I'm going to say no. On the clock here, JT's got a tough matchup against Pittsburgh, but that's a nice RB to have at this juncture of the draft. Jacobs, Minnesota, ETN, Houston. I'm going to go JT. It's not the best matchup, but I think they run the hell out of the ball. It's definitely, definitely still a very good squad when you look at it, I mean, damn, it's a good team. All right, what do we got? We need another. Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson's available. I'll go Garrett Wilson. So I got Patrick Mahomes, JT, Jamar Chase, Rashee Rice, Garrett Wilson, Travis Kelce. We'll see what it ranks me at the end of it all. Which doesn't matter, but you always like to get your score, you like to get ranked highest. No matter whether you believe it or not, whether it works out or not, you still always want to see the projection. Say, yeah, your team was the best according to our system. Ertz or Gesicki? I'd probably go Ertz, I suppose, but that's our 50-50 call, bro. I'm kind of forcing it there. I would say, chat, could we vote on that one? Ertz isn't bad. Ertz is kind of safer. I would say Ertz, but chat, can we vote on that? Let me go over to Eric real quick. Eric, you're up. What's up? You're live.
Hey, Smitty. I wanted to run a start sit by you between Taysom Hill against the Falcons or Dalton Schultz against the Jags.
I think because we've got a injury that Taysom Hill's coming back from. Look at that 85. I got an 85.5 projected score. This is when it's right. When it says that you're winning, then it's right. 85.5. The next highest is 81.3. I think it's a good squad. Patrick Mahomes, JT, Jamar Chase, Rashee Rice, Garrett Wilson, Travis Kelce, pretty solid. Bro, it's tough to say. I would go with Schultz. I think they're going to need him with Tank Dell down. So that's probably where I lean, but it's not an easy call. Those are, if Taysom Hill was healthy and you don't really know what's in store for him, So
yeah, very true.
What if he's barely used? What if he's hurt? Schultz has been banged up too, but I'd probably go with Schultz. Dell down, I go Schultz.
Yeah, that sounds good. Smart. I'm rooting for Rice and Mahomes too. I got both of them.
Yep, I think they're gonna have a good day. All right, bro. Eric, call back if you got another one.
All right, thanks, Smitty.
Guys, we're gonna jump into another draft right now. I'm gonna drop the link in the live chat. There it is. Boom. Hit the link. Code Smitty also gets it done. Underdog will match your first deposit up to $1,000. That means you drop $500, they give you $250. You drop the minimum $10, they give you $5. You drop $2,000, they give you $1,000. Also, a free Patrick Mahomes pick if you on your first deposit right now. And we're gonna jump straight into another draft. So everybody go to the lobby. You're gonna go on to the draft tab at the bottom. You're gonna have a lobby tab on the top left. You're gonna scroll probably like 4 cards over to the Battle Royale Week 4. It's $5. If you see something as $10, that's the wrong draft. Battle Royale Week 4. It's a $5 draft. Click the green button now, and I'll wait about 5 seconds because of the YouTube delay. And we will jump into another one right now. And I'll put it up on screen. Travis Rowe, you're live.
Hey, so in games where, like, if Dell is out or God forbid Nico misses games, do you consider Diggs like a top 15 wide receiver? Does he jump that high for you? Or is it more just still got to see what he's going to be in the offense?
I think in this game he probably will be, because I mean this feels like a revenge game. Not that the Texans are executing revenge upon the Jags, but I mean that they are going to. This is a get right game. This is a let's reset the scales,
right,
and let's get the offense humming. And so I kind of feel like that's where we're at. And so I think everyone's going to have a good day. And I'm definitely drafting a lot of Texans in these weeklies. So yeah, top 15 easy.
All right. And then Rostron, do you think he could be like a borderline league winner if he just takes that backfield with the way he can catch passes and stuff, or do you think he's going to settle more into like an RB2 flex type? Yeah,
I think
I love the skill set coming out of college.
Yeah,
he just hasn't had a chance really.
I don't know if I'd say league winner. I would say he's a very decent flex play, but the problem is Chicago's offensive line is so bad that there's going to be no run. It doesn't matter what they do. Their only hope is to throw. Oh, it's just, it's bad, bro. It's really bad. I don't think there's going to be any consistency.
At some point,
yeah, I mean, but not this early. But yeah, week 10, 12, 15, 14, who knows when they fire him. But this is such a bad offense. They're going to have to abandon the run at some point. Like, I don't think there's any consistent run. Not with that offensive line. It's one of the worst offensive lines in the league. There's that graphic I have on my Instagram stories, or I think it might still be up there. It shows 5 of them laying on the ground. They're all like laying on the ground. And then there's 4 defensive linemen chasing Caleb. And it's just like there's all 4 laying, and there's no one blocking them down to the ground. They're all laying on the ground. It's really bad. It's a really bad offensive line. So that you can't trust. First of all, you can't trust a running back in a bad offense. It's a bad offense, regardless of what people think. And the Glazers are weird. Like you see somebody that's like been backing Caleb all offseason, and you go to, their commentators, whatever. A lot of his commentators are like, they'll be like, this is where he gets special right here. It's like he hasn't been special all year long. Okay, let's not act like there's some sort of like, oh, remember when Caleb can get in his bag of tricks? This right now, I always say, like, okay, we're inside the 10. This is where he gets magical. There's nothing magical about Caleb. Maybe there's something to come, but there's been nothing. And everyone that's glazed him all offseason, they just can't help themselves but to double down on it. But the schedule looks really good. They will be throwing a ton. Fantasy-wise, there certainly could be a lot of scoring in the cards for him. For sure. It's just, there's going to be a lot of mistakes as well. Hold on one second. Let me make this draft selection. I guess I'm going to go Mahomes again right here. So I got Justin Jefferson, Rashee Rice this time. Kelsey just went before me to Speedy. Now that we got because I did the first draft without you guys. Now everyone's getting drafted out of turn again. Like Kelsey's always there in the third round. Now he's gone. Kyron went at the 7 pick. He's always there until like 14. So we're back in the snipage territory. Okay, so I'm on the clock here. I think Evans is going to have a huge day. I'm going to go Evans. So I've got Justin Jefferson, Rashee Rice, Patrick Mahomes, Mike Evans. All right, let me hit these super chats real quick, Travis, then I'll come back to you. And then Tate, hang tight, Tate, I'm coming for you. Hey, Smitty, Charbonnet or Kirk? It depends. I mean, if Walker's full go, I think Kirk could be a tad safer, but I think Sharp still gets some work. So it's pretty close. If Walker's limited or rolled out last second or whatever, then I think Sharps is the absolute lock. Like, that's not even a hesitation in my mind. This one here from Business, appreciate you, 12-team PPR, two running backs, 2 wide receivers, 2 flex. Running backs are Hall, Singletary, Ramondre, Dowdle. Do I trade Ramondre for Reed? That'll leave you thin at running back. I guess I don't know who your receivers are. If you need receivers badly, I like Reed more than Ramondre right now. I like Ramondre if he was in a good offense, but you know, with a good quarterback and everything was jiving, it'd be different. But give me Reed. Reed, people forget Reed was in their top like 10 wide receivers coming out of week 1. They're like, this guy's, and everyone's forgetting about him now all of a sudden. It's like, Reed who? It's just it's wild to me. So now's the time to buy low. Start 1, J-Mo, Jacoby, Keenan Allen, Addison. Give me J-Mo. J-Mo gets so mad disrespected. He's got super high-end wide receiver 2 upside. Trade away Chase and Pacheco for Gibbs and Coleman. Gibbs and Chase are dead even. Pacheco may never play again this year. Coleman, you know, maybe he gets going later. Probably not, you know, primetime ready yet, but he's certainly looking better. The momentum is starting to kick into gear. So this really depends on what you need. If you need a running back, I'm fine with Gibbs straight up. If you need a wide receiver, I'm fine with Jamar Chase straight up. I guess I'd lean toward the Jamar Chase and Pacheco side by a hair, just in case Pacheco does come back, and then all of a sudden you've got a top 10 running back. But it's hard to count on that at all, and I would not trade for it, expected nothing, because it's not something that you can. He's getting hardware put in the ankle, or did, and he's got to recover from that. He's a wild, crazy runner, aggressive. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. Underdog Battle Royale Week 4. Thoughts on my chances this weekend with this draft? Mahomes, Kyron, JT, JJ, Evans, Kelsey. I think it's fantastic, bro. It's very similar to the team that I drafted, and I love it. Got $20 hauler from Jordan. Jordan, appreciate you dropping the 20 watt. I'm on the clock. Let me draft real quick. Board view. Connor, JT. I don't know why I keep wanting to draft Connor. I mean, he's by far and away the best player. I guess, you know, bounce back from ETN. Let's mix it up a little bit. I could go Connor, or I could go JT again, but I think I'm going to go ETN. So my team so far is JJ, Rashee Rice, Patrick Mahomes, Mike Evans, ETN, and now I need a tight end. So probably roll with Kyle Pitts, I think. We'll go Kyle Pitts here. He's the I mean, Cole Kmet's there, but Dalton Schultz, do like him a little bit. I'm going to go Kyle Pitts here. So Pitts, ETN, Mike Evans, Mahomes, Rashee Rice, and Justin Jefferson. Let's see what There it is right there. Let's see what they rank me. I'm going to say 82. 82. Jordan, $20 hauler. Appreciate you going to Mars. Going to the shuttle to go to Mars, my friend. Lamar, Kyron, J.K., Evans, Wilson, Pitts, Higgins, McConkey, Dowdle got offered. Aiyuk and Connor and Deontay for Kyron. Absolutely not. And William and Wilson. Bro, did you hear my response when I said absolutely not when I read just Kyron's name? And now you're throwing in Garrett Wilson on top of that. Absolutely worst trade I've seen maybe all day.
You are off for sex. You are dead off for sex.
You send him that clip, young man, which is 20 minutes and 54 seconds into the show. You send him that clip and you tell him never send you that garbage again, that heap of garbage. But he won't take JK instead. JK instead of what? Kyron? Of course he won't. It's like taking a $1 bill versus a $100 bill. 79 projected. We're all pretty close on this one. Let's look at Speedy's team real quick. Hall, Bijan, Deontay, McLaurin, Kelsey, Jaden Daniels, Joe. Solid wide receivers. I like it. And then these are all pretty good teams. Okay, so we're going to get into one more, and then I'm going to go back to the phone line. Jordan, as I said, don't make that trade. If I'm going to do anything, it would be JK and Higgins for like one player. Joe, take a gander at this board. Just take stabs. Obviously, the injured guys, Debo and Kupp, you'll be careful, and that's a whole different trade. And Dell's out, and Worthy's very cheap. The rest of these guys, minus AR5, are all like hot commodity players that I'm trying to get, at the right price. So just take a gander around this and just say like, hey, Higgins and my computer's acting really slow right now. I got to restart it. Higgins and Dowdle or Higgins and Connor's here. You're getting offered. Higgins and JK. Higgins and JK for Achane. Higgins and JK, obviously you take Gibbs. Higgins and JK for Etienne and something small. Maybe he's got a Dell that he's about to drop, or a Worthy he doesn't believe in, like et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Higgins for Debo straight up, because you'll wait a week and you'll be fine with it. J.K. Dobbins for Cooper Kupp, and you wait on it, like something like that, bro. Something I would consider. All right, go into the Battle Royale week number 4. Click the green button right now. I'll wait 4 or 5 seconds because of the YouTube delay. For those that want to get in on these drafts, you just hit this link right here. Underdog will give you a 50% match on your first deposit if you use code Smitty or the link that I just dropped in the live chat. It's in the description of every video. If you're watching the replay, they'll give you a 50% match on your first deposit. They'll give you a free Patrick Mahomes pick if you use the link or code Smitty or the link that I just dropped. I'm going to drop it one more time in the live chat. There it is. Do it live. Get in there. And we'll be drafting here together yet again. And we'll probably do another draft. So if you didn't get into this one, click the link that I just dropped. Sign up and get ready for a draft. Let me pull it up and go to the phone line. 1 second, guys. Draft. Okay, let's go to Marsman Rock Out. Marsman Rock Out, you're live. And then I'm going over to... Actually, Marsman Rock Out, do you mind if I go to Tate real quick? He's been waiting a while.
Yeah, you're good.
Go ahead, Tate. Thank you, Jordan, for the $20 haul. If you got a follow-up, let me know. Go ahead, Tate. You're live.
You can go to Rock Out. I got to be back.
You got to be back? Okay. Thank you, Tate. Tate's hiding in the pantry from the missus. He's got to do something real quick. Okay, go ahead, Rock Out. You're live.
Yeah, we don't hear nothing about K9 like on Sunday. Would you just go more safer route?
Like what?
I mean, that's not technically safer, but I could go Akers if Mixon doesn't play, or Michael Wilson against a good matchup against the Commanders.
What about in that game? Is there anybody you can pick up in the Walker game, just so you can?
Walker game. Let's say Seattle and Detroit. Let me see. Go next call until I find it.
Okay. Hey Tate, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, Tate. What can I do for you? You in the pantry?
So no. My running back core is Saquon Barkley and Jahmyr Gibbs, and then I have a backup as Josh Jacobs, which I really like, but would it be worth, because the problem with next week is Barkley and Gibbs have the same, they have the same bye week, so would it be worth me taking the Josh Jacobs and a Pickens and try getting a better running back, or should I just stick with Jacobs?
You want to trade? You want to trade who for a running back though? You don't want to trade one of your big guns over a bye week.
Jacobs,
okay.
Because I have Jacobs on my bench.
I like Jacobs.
So I don't know if I should trade Jacobs and Pickens for a better running back.
I mean, of course I would. Your bye week has nothing to do with this question, bro. Can you trade Pickens and Jacobs for a better running back anyway? Like for Achane or, honestly, I know you probably need an RB, but I don't know if Steele is out there or somebody, and you could make this Pickens and Jacobs trade for Tyreek Hill or Nico Collins right now and say, you know what, I'm just gonna go for a wide receiver. But I don't worry about bye weeks. Number one, you're gonna bleed out either all in 1 week or not. And Jacobs is a fantastic player. I like Jacobs a lot. I think he's got top 10 running back appeal. But I certainly sell him off with Pickens to get a Achane, a Gibbs, obviously. But it does fall off. There's not, Jacobs is right below those guys, so it's not like there's a lot there. Like a Kamara, maybe, obviously a Bijan, maybe a Jordan Mason, obviously, is cheaper in some circles than others. So,
yeah. I don't know if I should trade for a receiver, because my receiving core, my two starters are Neighbors and Reed, which I think are pretty solid. And then on the bench, it's Pickens, Worthy, and Dell.
Yeah, I mean, I love Worthy. I hate having Worthy out of my lineup. So I'm not trying to move that. But we'll see what happens this week, Even if Worthy, let's say Worthy does not have the week that I want him to have, that I say he'll have, that I project him to have. I can't predict when a rookie's going to get in his full-blown stride. There's definitely some, some you jumping the gun a little bit. You're a little early to the show. The credits are the previews haven't even started yet. You got there a little early, you miscalculated. That doesn't mean I'm going to run away from Worthy. There's so many weird people in the chat or in the comments after a video, and they go, yeah, there's that one guy kept saying, Dell, I can't believe it. So are you ready to give up? No, I'm not ready to give up on Dell. Smitty, so you done with Worthy yet? I don't care if Worthy has a bad game this week. I'm buying Worthy again in week 5. I don't care if he has a bad game in week 5. I'm buying again in week 6. He'll just get cheaper. I'll just be getting better and better value. But at some point, Worthy's going to explode. And I'm not saying that everybody can afford to wait, but I highly doubt he's hampering anybody. If he doesn't explode, he's still going to do very well. Mahomes hasn't really been full go yet. As I give the example of the submarine and the torpedo doors, I feel like they've got 5 torpedo doors on the submarine that is Patrick Mahomes, and only one door has been open. I think they all open up and they stay open all year. It's just, they've been skating by, and even Mahomes has said in the interview, this is not how we want to win. It feels like we're stagnant. We need to, get the ball moving. We need to score. They need to throw big plays downfield and connect on them. And Worthy will be a big part of that. And he's a rookie. Rookies always get eased in. Jamar Chase, there was that stretch of games where Jamar Chase was horrible. And I said, buy low. And it was 5-6 weeks straight. Everyone's like, Jamar Chase is trash. I'm cutting him, Smitty. He was fool's gold at the beginning of the year. And then he won leagues for people that hung in there. And that's, Worthy's going to be a stronger finisher than he is a starter. So he's going to finish a lot stronger than he's starting. Anyway, I don't know why I went off on a tangent. All right, later, bro. Appreciate you. I don't know if I answered your question, but all right, hang tight, phone line, and then I'll go over to Travis or to rock out in a second. Let me just draft here real quickly, and then let me get a couple of these super chats out of the way so I'm not behind. What do you guys on the phone line real quickly? I only got 20 seconds. Do you like Olave, Garrett Wilson, Jaden Reed?
Olave. Wilson's against Surtain.
Yeah.
Wilson has Patrick Surtain this week.
Probably maybe Olave.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna go Reed. Well, why'd you even ask me then, Smitty? I think Reed's some of trying to win this is to get a crafty pick. You know, not that Reed's undrafted necessarily, but he is borderline undrafted in these drafts because this is 36 deep. We're in the final round here, and I took Reed 5 picks from the end of the draft, so he does go undrafted in these drafts, in these specific drafts. So
Olave, you got to see what's up with the hamstring too.
Yeah, so I got the highest projection from this data here, 83.9. But again, Reed goes undrafted in many of these drafts, and so I got that like kind of wild card factor. Like all things equal, I want to try and go toward that so that there's not 7 ties for first place, and I'm splitting 30K, with 10 people. But I think this will set me apart, and I do think he's dynamic this week because they're gonna run him. They're gonna run him. They're gonna try and get him evolved. It's a tough matchup, but it does sound like Jordan Love's inching toward playing, and this is the only shot that they have. I know Minnesota. Minnesota is such a tough start. They really are. Like they're such a good defense, but I feel like if anybody's gonna kind of rattle their cage a little bit, I feel like it's going to be the Packers. Even if Malik's in there, I think they're going to just be a harder team to square up against. I don't know. Green Bay's looking really solid right now. I think they're going to run the hell out of Jacobs. I think Reed's going to get a lot of touches, and I hope he has a few runs. I just see him scoring in this game. I hope he's a
good coach. I mean,
yeah, he's
really
good.
Look at how much better Malik Willis looks just in a couple weeks in Green Bay compared to what he looked like in Tennessee.
And you guys remember Malik Willis was one of my sleeper QBs. I was so excited about him his rookie year, and I looked like a fool at the end of that. I was like, damn it, I know my eyes aren't wrong. I know Malik's got talent, and look at LaFleur making him look like what a good backup, what a good coach, what a good scheme, what a good team, and what a good backup quarterback Malik Willis is. Like this is the kind of guy that could get them a playoff win. If, let's say, Jordan Love went down for one playoff game, like the wild card game or whatever, and he's got to come in and just let's run Jacobs, let's be efficient, let's win off of turnovers, and they win a game, and then Love comes back and boom. Or this might even be one of those situations where Jordan Love comes back and they don't play as well. You're like LeBron goes out and the Lakers play better, and you're like, what? Like, hopefully that's not the case, but. All right, let me get some of these super chats real quick. This one from Dave. Dave says 1 and 2 down bad. QB Love, Ken Walker, Kyron, Moss, CD, London, Reed, Pickens, McBride. Should I trade London and Reed and Moss for Waddle, JT, and Dobbs? Woo! London and Reed and Moss. Yes, go get Waddle and JT. I get that London's got upside, but bro, he's gonna be a little sporadic because Cousins is sporadic. I don't think Cousins is gonna level out and just be awesome, on a like a level line. I think he's gonna be kind of like, and dare I say it, if anybody feels the same way about this, I mean, you can drop a thumbs up in the chat or whatever. But I feel like the Jets and the Falcons are similar in that the talent, they're oozing talent. Yep. But they just drag their feet on offense, and they just waste the clock. Especially in the Jets' case, the defense is so good. It's almost like they do. It's just by the time the Jets, they don't execute a bunch of drives. It's like the beginning of the second quarter, and Garrett Wilson's barely been on the field. I feel like that's the detriment here to Garrett Wilson's fantasy value at times. It's not really even that Garrett Wilson's not great. It's just the opportunities go down with this type of offense. And I feel like Cousins is running this ship the same way. It's like, it just feels like it drags and then the game's over. And it's like, whereas other offenses are just, you're just unleashing. So I feel like that's the way. I hope it changes, but I forget what I was saying on that. I think, London. So what I was going to say is that, you're getting rid of London, who we love. Reed, I love Reed. Reed's great. Moss, you could take him or leave him. Honestly, he's going to do well when he's doing well, and he's going to do bad when he's doing bad. And you might not have many. Kind of reminds me of Ridley, but as a running back, you're going to start him the weeks he doesn't do well. You're going to sit him the weeks he does well, and you're going to lose your mind. I know Waddle's kind of down bad as well, like you feel you are, David, but I'd certainly take a gamble on him if the other side of this is you're getting JT. So pretty smash move, and then you could always try and flip JT if you can. Bray, appreciate you. 2-1. Moves to make for you would be JD, Achane, Mason. I don't see Garendo, bro. I'm going to make a comment about that. Achane, Mason, Lamb, Deontay, McLaurin, Kelsey. Your bench is Jalen Hurts. You got to probably trade your quarterback. It's a 12-man league, I hope. If it is, there's somebody that needs Jalen Hurts. There's somebody that needs him. Even if you're trading him straight up for an injured Debo or Cooper Kupp, do it, bro. Do it, stash, and wait. That would be a phenomenal move for you. I'm trading Chuba while his value is sky high, just like I would have traded Rachaad White when you could, just like I would have traded J.K. Dobbins at his peak and did, and recommended everybody. I'm not saying he can't return to some more value. He had a tough matchup, I get it, but his offensive line's in shambles. He'll probably get hurt at some point. So same thing here. Rachaad White, Chuba, trying to trade one of those guys. McLaurin on the high, Deontay on the high. Go get one player using combos of that. Tyreek Hill's attainable, harder to get, but attainable. Dell, same thing. But this might be your secret weapon. You trade some bench piece for a Debo or a Cup or both, and then, bro, you have something other people couldn't wait on, but you had the depth to do it, and then all of a sudden you're just clobbering everybody when they're back. Rate this trade, please. Dynasty Superflex, Chase, Moss, Scary Terry, T. Law for London, Jacobs, Waddle, Carr, and a first-round pick. Depends where the first-round pick is. Let's assume it's middle. If it's middle of the pack, I'd rather have Jamar Chase, Moss, Scary Terry, T. Law over London, Jacobs, Waddle, Carr. You know what? Yeah, I don't know. That's tough because, Jamar Chase is clearly the best player in the deal, even over the 1.1. If you got that, Jamar Chase is the best player in the deal. However, Jacobs has a short window in Dynasty. He's a nice value, probably undervalued. Waddle's not like a spring chicken. By the time, but he's not going to be in the number one there. Tyreek Hill locked up. We don't know what the QB situation is. Right now, he's barely startable to a lot of people. So what's the Dynasty outlook when we don't know who the long-term quarterback is? So is Waddle really as attractive in Dynasty as we might want him to be? Probably not. In London, remember what I said? Penix Jr. might change that. I'm going to say Jamar Chase side. Even if you're getting a mid-first round pick, if it's the 1.1, I think it's very damn close. But other than that, even if it's like the 4 overall, you guaranteed me it was number 4. I don't love it, bro. Smitty, 14-team PPR bench, Mahomes, MHJ, Debo, JMO, Kyron, Corum. Thoughts on 2-for-1. Worthy, Garendo on waivers. Well, you better grab Garendo if you've got... Oh, I don't see that you have Mason. Do you have Mason? No, you don't have Mason. Okay. Well, Garendo is still a very good grab, but I don't know that you can grab him because your worst player is Corum probably. You could drop Mooney or Watson potentially if you wanted to. And as far as 2-for-1s, I love MHJ and Debo and Mahomes, and I love Kyron. I don't know that there's a lot to move. In order to move anything, you have to move one of those guys. And there really isn't a lot of sell high value unless it's Kyron, but I don't know that I want to move Kyron. I would explore a Kyron for Achane and a big name player. Somebody undervalued, maybe someone like a DK or something like that, but it'd have to be crazy. It'd have to be like, you're giving me Achane, who I honestly like near Kyron's value. So that's the only time I'm going to move Kyren. It's possible, too. Like, if someone said, okay, I'll give you Jacobs and Tyreek Hill, ETN and Tyreek Hill, I'd probably do that in your situation maybe for Kyren, but that's it. And you're waiting on Debo. Once Debo comes back, you're good, bro. Braylon Allen gets in there, it's over. That's what you need to kind of happen, but I think I'm waiting on this squad. I don't think I'm trading Kyren yet. And if you do, make sure you're getting a double of a situation like that. All right, these super chats are going to get kind of out of control here. So let me go around the phone line and end all these calls with everybody. I'll come back and open the phone line. Rock out. What do you got?
Yeah, the only options would be Boyd and Jonnu Smith, but I could switch Jameson Williams as my wide receiver 2 and then play him over Walker if Walker don't play.
And then put who in place of Jameson Williams?
I could put Michael Wilson.
I don't know. What do you guys think on the phone line? Do you just wait? I mean,
I also got Akers. Mexican don't play.
What was the option instead of he has no one Monday night?
He's trying to figure out if he wants to start Kenneth Walker, and Walker may not play, but he's practicing. I don't know, but he could be on a snap count or something like that. So he's worried about, does he wait until he has no options left, or does he pick up? You said it was who? Rock out. Jonnu
Boyd
Smith
for D and Jonnu Smith for Miami, which I don't really like any of them. Both of them.
I kind of like Jonnu a little bit, like enough to be like, hey. But I mean, it's not like your options are like right now. Your option is to start like Michael Wilson Jr. in advance, right? I think I'd rather bank on Walker with Jonnu.
Yeah, you might as well wait if that's your option.
Because Michael Wilson could do like
Walker's
nothing.
play.
Michael Wilson could do nothing. Well, he might play, but he could have a setback or something. So like he's just worried about it. Because there was that practice footage where he's running and then all of a sudden he just pulled up and started. So you never know with this oblique. He could easily pull up, and there's no guarantee he's going to play. That's speculation. But
I did hear they want to be really cautious with him.
Yeah.
They're confident enough in Charbonnet, but they also want him to be the 3M back. At least that was the case. So
yeah.
I don't know. I hope they keep him out one more week.
Rock out.
If you don't have like a definite fill-in, just go with that.
Yeah, Jonnu's close enough to Michael Wilson, bro. That's kind of like,
well, McBride's not playing
the Redskins.
What?
Or the Commanders.
Yeah.
Michael Wilson playing the Commanders. You might grab a touchdown.
Yeah, that's true though.
Yeah, he's a good play. I mean,
they gave him like a 10-point projection.
Yeah, that's true.
I think Walker's going to play. I doubt he'll sit out.
But that's speculation though. Let's be a little careful on that.
Yeah.
you're totally using the good. I like where your head's at, but he's not for sure going to play. Okay, so let's think about this from your lineup construction. If you put Michael Wilson in now, or you leave it between Michael Wilson and Walker. Okay, so let's say you put Michael Wilson Jr. in the lineup now. Who would it be between Walker and if you're going to rotate that one out? Like, tell me what you were saying you were going to do. You're going to set your lineup in a certain way. I just want to make sure I understand you.
I could put Michael Wilson at wide receiver 2, and then I'll have the choice between Walker and Jameson Williams on Monday because of the same game.
Yeah, you know what? That's not a bad idea.
That's not bad.
Because your worst case scenario, is you're starting Michael. Yeah, I mean that it could be into being bad, but I don't know, bro. That's so tough. That's so tough.
Yeah, I'm just hoping I
I think you got to roll with Walker.
Yeah, we heard you.
Hope I find, like Saturday, like I heard
Well-
Higgins.
Wilson's the best wide receiver you have to play besides.
Yeah, that sucks. I mean, I would say rock out. Go with.
And I got Akers and Mixon don't play.
You know, the worst thing about Walker though is even if he plays, what if he's limited and you have no idea he's limited? And
That's why I was worried.
You know,
I know.
it's tough to say. And Charbonnet's been so good. Maybe your safest play is to go J-Mo and Wilson, and you just say to yourself like, Walker would have to have an insane game against the Lions, and they'd have to just forget that Charbonnet ever existed. I don't know. I think maybe, yeah. In the Commanders matchup, as said on the phone line here, I that is pretty damn good, man. Michael Wilson's not bad. But I don't think I said J-Mo.
Wilson without McBride.
I'm afraid you
because
just.
no matter
They
what,
might go double cover MHJ.
What?
They might double cover MHJ. They might put all the attention on MHJ.
Yeah.
So it might open up
All right.
something for Wilson.
All right, rock out. Got to go. Appreciate you, bro.
All right.
Later, bro. All right, I'm gonna spin out the phone line quickly. We're gonna let it rip. Rick from SoCal, quickly.
I just wanted to know what do you think are the biggest smash pick'ems for this week? I like Burrow and Kyron obviously, and I got Breece Hall getting a couple touchdowns. But what else? If you got any other picks?
Yeah, probably say some of my favorites. Looking at this would be, I love Barkley at 78 yards. Actually, yeah, I don't know if I love the touchdown more than the 78 yards. Barkley at 78 yards feels like a pretty damn good one. Let me see.
Yeah.
I'll screenshot that one. I think he's going to have a pretty easy path to that. I would say.
I've been liking Pickens against the Colts too.
I mean, I like Pickens, but I don't know, bro. I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
How I feel about Pickens right now, because he's limited. Not only is he limited by his own doing, but he's also got an offense that doesn't score touchdowns. They win games, but they don't score touchdowns. And I'm excited for Fields. It's amazing to see him playing well, but he's not an easy fantasy football play because you just don't know if he's going to have any potential, touchdowns or whatever. So Pickens is limited. There's a lot of limitations to him. He has to do well. He's got to really, really smash. So I'd probably say,
I don't like.
That's not what I'm going to mess around with Pick'ems personally. But these two
You're
right here. What?
I just think at 50 receiving yards, I feel like that's a gimme for him.
Maybe.
I'll take that one.
I'd rather take Evans for 64.5 yards. Total yards. That's total, too. 78 for Saquon.
Yeah, you're right.
These are pretty good. All right, got to roll. I'll do more of these later, bro. Appreciate you. Double A.
For sure. Thanks, bro.
Double A. Hate to rush you, but I got
up?
to get to these super chats. What can I do for you, pal?
Quick one. I know I heard you earlier talking about Roschon Johnson not going to get a lot of love in the running game, and I'm sitting with Emmanuel Wilson on my bench. Do you have a preference for those two, or do you think when Marshawn Lloyd comes back, we just get the three-headed monster up in Green Bay?
Well, I think Roschon gets a lot of love, but I think the offense they'll abandon the run, but he'll get a lot of the love of the workload, but I think it will be not what you want, efficiency-wise, and he'll get, maybe a whole quarter you won't see him even get touches, but I think he'll get a lot of the run. But yeah, I'm not excited about the Bears run right now. It could be good one game and bad another game. You know what I mean? If Roschon has a touchdown and 45 yards on the ground, I wouldn't be shocked, if that happened. But the next week he might not do it. So it's going to be hard to start him and rely on him. Emmanuel's hard to trust too.
Every time I play somebody like that, every time I play somebody like that, the next week I bench them and then they got 110-2. Then I play them, then they disappear.
That's what I say about the driving in lanes of traffic on the freeway. It's like everyone wants to jump off the Worthy train. The minute you do, Worthy's going to explode. But I think
oh, no.
I think
Wish I was on that train.
Emmanuel's pretty tough because Jacobs. I think they wanna have a little bit of a rotation, but they definitely have been definitely willing to lean on Jacobs. I guess I'd say Roshan is going to share carries regardless, but he's going to share less of them in terms of the offense, maybe. But is it going to be good work? So I guess I would take the Green Bay backup
I feel like
over.
Sanders is in just a better situation.
Yeah, it's just a better, but I mean, it's not a great matchup though. So I don't know.
No,
man.
I just meant maybe rest of season.
Yeah, rest of season.
Not
okay.
necessarily week 4.
I would
say
say
I should have said that.
Yeah, I would say because Jacobs is he's had a heavy workload in his past. I'd take the gamble that look, Roshan's going to be in the spotlight and have trouble doing something with it. In this Green Bay situation,
they're still a year or two away from that offensive line.
Yeah, in this Green Bay situation,
Chicago,
he's effective as a backup, kind of like Braylon Allen. And if Jacobs goes down, you have like league winning potential, maybe, or I would say like borderline like 8 to 15 running back potential. Each week it could be very, very good. So I'd say if we're talking about rest of season,
RB2 there.
Yeah, so rest of season, I'd say go with the Green Bay situation for sure. All right, Double A, appreciate you, bro.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you as always.
All right, later. Let me go to Redwood, then over to Travis. Redwood, go. You got 30 seconds, Redwood.
Hey, buddy. I'm thinking about starting Terry McLaurin over Tyreek Hill this week. I think that's a good play.
Do I think it's a good play? No, I don't think it's a good play. Do I think it could work out either way? Sure. But I don't think I'm sitting Tyreek Hill. I'm not ready for that. I'm not saying I don't like McLaurin. I just think that this is a conversation that you're having with your wide receiver 3 or your flex spot, not with Tyreek Hill, who is drafted to be your number 1 wide receiver. So there's got to be another conversation.
I have Olave too, but it's questionable. I don't know if I trust the Saints offense right now. But
I mean, I'd put Hill in, and then I'd have this debate with Olave. Who's your other receiver?
Harrison Jr.
Okay. So this is a question, I think, for Olave, not for Hill. I mean, look, Hill might go out and do nothing again, but I think they manufacture a lot for him. I think they get the football in his hands a lot. I think they try and Deebo Samuel wide back roll this a little bit more. I think Miami Mike is smart enough, although it doesn't seem like it lately, but smart enough to try and say, look, I have to get Tyreek Hill the ball. And I think they will. Yeah. And Tyreek Hill has a track record of almost equally doing really well without Tua when they've had Tua down or whatever, and not doing well. Like he's not just been dead, every time Tua's down. He's had big yardage games, and then not so big, but definitely more than one. Like he's been good before without Tua. So I'm gonna go Hill. I think I'm not saying I bench Olave, but he's banged up, so like that's probably gonna be what I do. And McLaurin, it's a good matchup. Probably be a pretty good shootout in Arizona.
So, are you gonna go to the game or?
I don't go to the games, bro. I'm here. I'm in the studio.
Oh, okay. Just sure.
All right. Later, Redwood. Travis, you're live. Do I leave the studio? What's the kind of questions?
So
I get food and that's it.
Walker and Charbonnet.
Yeah, Walker, Charbonnet, what?
Oh, sorry. Walker and Charbonnet and Worthy. Would you just go with Worthy and avoid that situation then?
Yeah. Yep. I would.
Yeah. I have Mahomes and Rice too.
No one else has to go down this road with me. No one else has to go down this road with me if they don't want to. I'm not forcing anybody to go down the Worthy road.
I've been doing it because I believe he's coming around.
I mean, look what he did in week 1. Look what he did in the preseason. This is going to be one of those things where people go, hindsight's pretty clear. Like, what made us think that the way they showcased him with the starting unit, with everybody on the field, with Rice on the field, with Kelsey on the field, with Pacheco on the field, they focused and showcased him in the preseason. The opening drive, it was the Worthy show. Week 1, it was the Worthy show. 2 touchdowns. Looked amazing. Electric. Proved to be the right pick. Get the ball in his hands. He's explosive. And he has 2 bad games in a row. And if you watch the entire game, you know that there were some shots that were missed that would have made him a superhero again. So what in the world are people really looking at when they think Worthy didn't do well, won't do well? They blame it on his size. They just are reactive Rodgers. It's absolutely hilarious to me. And I don't care if he doesn't do well again this week. I don't care.
I think they look at it like, oh, only 4 targets or whatever. Like, well, first of all, he's a rookie. But second of all, he's not the type of player that needs 20 targets or 15 targets either, you know. But, it's very easy to feel safe for those guys. Like, you know, a big guy is Wandale right now, which I like Wandale. He's solid, but he needs 12 to 15 targets if he's going to do anything. Worthy needs, you know, I'd say I like to see him getting 5 or 6 or 7, but he can do it with 1, you know. You saw that the first night.
And he's going to get 2 carries, you know, whatever.
Right. He's going to get his 7 or 8 touches probably. But yeah, so you just to avoid that whole Seattle situation Monday, just stick him in the flex.
Yep.
All right. Sounds good.
All right, later, Travis. Appreciate you. Later. All right, phone lines are closed for now. Sorry, guys. I got to get through these super chats. We're going to rip through them here. Got a little behind on them. So, what up, Smitty? Just got Jacobs for Hubbard and Benson. I'm fine with that. 0-3. Really good squad. Loading 4 waivers. Yeah, I think you did good. I think you wait. You maybe trade Mixon if he has a big game this week. You know, Devonta Smith and Mixon now for a Tyreek Hill. You know, Jacobs and Mixon, or Jacobs in London for, I mean, I'd even look at Tyreek Hill there, but I'd definitely go above that as well. Marvin Harrison Jr., etc. But yeah, nice job. Nice job. Those are good trades, those types of moves. Pick aside Jameson, Ferguson, or Laporta Waddle. Give me Laporta Waddle by quite a bit. There's just a lot more upside with that situation. Jacob, appreciate you. PPR pick 2 start Deontay, J-Mo, and Pickens. I'm going to go Deontay if he plays and if he looks healthy. All that stuff is up in the air. So Deontay, if he looks 100%. If he doesn't, if you're worried about him at all, they don't really even update you. You go J-Mo and Pickens and you don't look back. So pretty easy self. But if I'm starting J-Mo as the other wide receiver, it'd be Pickens that I would be very tempted to sit on the bench if Deontay looked 100%. But I don't know that he will. I don't think you'll have enough update to even know. So I'm going to put probably Deontay on the bench in that case. Ladd, Ertz, Walker for Amon-Ra. Yes, go get Amon-Ra. Have Purdy, Mason, Walker. Nice job, Amon-Ra. Other moves I would say would be nothing really, bro. I like what you got. Maybe Kenneth Walker and potentially a Brian Thomas Jr. for an ETN if you feel like that's safer. If you don't feel like it's safer, then, you know, maybe Jacobs if you don't feel like that's safer. Kamara. And then past that, it becomes a little dry. You've already got Mason. Mason's probably the other guy that I would want. So it's kind of tough to say that there's another RB in that territory of player that you'll be trying to acquire. Let me see if I can pull up some rankings here. I would say, obviously, Achane, you'd try for him. Cook, you'd try for him. Jacobs, Monty, maybe. And then it's ETN, and then that's kind of it, bro. That's about where the guy becomes Walker, you know, that you'd want. So, the bid, appreciate you saying need a flex. Chuba, McLaurin, or Worthy. Chuba's safe, but I'm going to go Worthy. As you know, I'm pumping Worthy up like crazy, and I'm not sitting him. Dell's on waivers drop. He's going to be on waivers all week. It's going to be great. Dell's on waivers drop. Braylon Allen, no Breece Hall, Kirk, Rashid, or Adunze. Drop Kirk if you're going to drop anybody. And, Kirk's okay, though. Like, don't be surprised if he has, 80 yards and a touchdown or something. You're like, I shouldn't have dropped him. Like, you're picking up Dell for not this week. Remember that. Start 2 wide receivers and a flex. MHJ, of course. So your question's a little bit wild, Santos, for even putting MHJ in this question. So start 1 wide receiver and a flex. JSN, Pickens, Demont. I'm going to go Demont in the flex, and I'm going to go probably Pickens, I would suppose, over JSN, but I like JSN, but he will be sporadic, but I do like him. That's a toss-up. It's between Pickens and JSN. Everything else is locked in. So if you feel a gut instinct of one over the other, I would go with your gut because I'm forcing an answer. Hey, Smitty, need a win this week playing my long-standing rival. Do I start Kyler or Stroud? I'm going to go Stroud this week, and that could be a mistake. I'm just telling you right now, but I feel like this is going to be the Texans' revenge game, not on the Jaguars, but the revenge game on their bad season and ups and downs. I think this is their get-right game. This is the kind of game where they let Stroud just execute. Even when they're up, he's throwing touchdowns. He's looking phenomenal. He's getting that mojo back. And I see a 3+ or a 3 TD, we'll call it a 3 TD game out of Stroud in this one. And I think Nico balls out. I think maybe Schultz gets the touchdown that we've been looking for. I think that Diggs probably scores. Maybe Diggs or Nico scores twice. I don't know. I think this is going to be a revenge tour game. And Nico's full go. So it's not like he's down that much. He's down Dell, but this is going to be a big game for him. So that's me. Connor Mixon. I'd probably go Connor for right now just because Mixon's been banged up. Dan, appreciate you. Traded Amari for Worthy. I'd rather have Worthy. I think the problem is you should have got more because the fair market value on Amari is much higher than Worthy. Worthy hasn't done anything lately. His values almost drop Worthy to people, and Amari just balled out. So as much as I'd rather have Worthy, you shouldn't have done this trade. You should have got more. Any advice on who to start QB? Pat Mahomes, AR5. Why would this be a concern? That Pat Mahomes is your starting quarterback. He's come on. Let's see here. Wide receiver, MHJ, Rice, Allen, Worthy. I'm going to go Rice, MHJ, Worthy. I don't know if you could start another wide receiver or flex. If so, I would go Reed. Probably. Bijan and Henry. And then, of course, I would go Andrews for right now until, Gesicki's okay, but I'm not sitting Andrews until he's injured. Flex Michael Wilson or Bucky. Probably Michael Wilson as Bucky's been banged up, but I do like Bucky a lot. Superflex PPR. I don't know what that, honestly, what was that question? Is that the one that I just said, Mahomes? Any advice? Okay, so that's what you're meaning right here. Okay, so Mahomes, AR5. Okay, great. So you're starting both those quarterbacks. So, I mean, as much as I want to put Andy Dalton in, I'm going to probably start AR5. Trust your gut on that one. Would anybody go AR5 or Dalton here? I mean, it is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's see here. Hold on a second. Bengals. Let's go Dalton. Chad, are we going Dalton? We're going Dalton against the Bengals, which is right here, versus AR5 versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is a crappy game for AR5 to try and bounce back from, though. This matchup isn't great. Let's go Dalton. Do I get an amen on Dalton? Look, Dalton looked like he was playing pretty well. But you're not sitting Mahomes for Dalton if it's a 1 QB, that other question I thought you were asking. So it looks like the chat is saying Dalton. Bengals are a nice matchup too. Dalton probably has a cakewalk 2 touchdown outing. Dalton, do it live. AR5 I don't want to give up on, but in that situation it's pretty easy. So thank you for clarifying on the Superflex. That makes it easy to answer that question. Team is Mahomes, Taylor, Aaron Jones, MHJ, London. I will say that on that Dalton versus AR5 on the year, while I'd start Dalton this week, on the year, I do believe AR5 will get back into a scoring fashion. team is Mahomes, Taylor, Aaron Jones, MHJ, London, Nakua, Ingram, Deontay, Ford, Wright, Carr. What moves do I make? I'd probably say you don't have a lot to trade, bro. Your only piece to trade is Taylor. You can't even sell Mahomes high. MHJ, you can't sell high. London, you can't really sell high. Puka, you can't sell Hurt. Ingram, like this squad's pretty good. It's hampered by Nakua being out big time. I would explore. Don't execute a trade that makes you worse, bro. Explore trying to go get, using JT, 2 players on this board that makes sense, like a Tyreek Hill and a ETN, or a Marvin Harrison Jr. and a Jacobs, or a Gibbs and a Worthy or higher, or a Nico and an ETN, or a Nico and a Jacobs, or a Nico and something. You know, like JT might get you that now. He might not. It's really hard to say. Thank you, pal. Trade Murray or Burrow. What in return? I mean, Murray or Burrow for a DK would be ideal. Is it doable? Probably not. Murray or Burrow for, in a 1 QB, I assume, for Jonathan Brooks while you're waiting for him to come back from injury, or I mean, that's really all I can think of. You're not getting a Monty, you could try. You're not getting a ETN, you could try. You're not getting a Mason, you could try. You're not getting you might get a J.K. Dobbins on the cheap right now, and he's a big risk, though. You might get Singletary, but I don't know that I even necessarily want that, but it's certainly an option for you. You could get probably Drake London, maybe. You could maybe get an injured Debo. I'd probably go after Debo. I'd probably go get Debo. You're getting rid, like something like that. Debo or Cup would be good for you to get rid of the quarterback and wait on. It's actually the most ideal situation for you. Even if you've got Nakua, I still do that. Burrow and Chase, Metcalf, Monty, JT, Aiyuk. Still good to move Burrow. Burrow, Chase, Metcalf, Monty, JT, Aiyuk, Pitts, Steele, JD. Yeah, you get JD5. If it's 1 QB. If it's 1 QB, it's a smash. Jennings, now that I've got Adams for Metcalf, should I try and trade Aiyuk and Jennings now that I have Adams? Now that I've traded Adams for Metcalf. I mean, yeah, I'm definitely trying to trade Juwan Jennings on the high, and Aiyuk scares the hell out of me, man. I would go after a Jacobs. I'd go after a Kamara. I'd go after a Monty. I'd obviously, do something bigger. I'd go after Laporta. I have JD5, Mahomes, Mason, Gibbs, Diggs, DK, Worthy, Pitts, Garendo, Brooks. Would you trade Mahomes and Worthy for Amon-Ra? I don't know. I mean, look, you got JD5. You're taking a gamble on this. I'd probably say I'm okay with it. It's good on both sides, though. This guy's getting a haul. I really think, this could be something you live to regret after this week. I'm just warning you. But I understand why you would do it, and you have JD5 sitting on the bench or Mahomes on the bench or whatever, and that's not going to feel good every week. So I'm okay with this. I would try and get something back if possible that makes you feel good about this. Like, let's say he had a Dell that he's about to cut. Then I feel a lot better about it. Just got offered Mike Evans for Mason. Pretty even straight up. I mean, honestly, Mason's going to be a top 6, 7, 10 running back, throughout the entirety of the year if you've got Garendo. And Evans will be something similar for wide receiver. So I think depending on your team need, I understand either side. So even Steven. So I approve it either way. Rest of season, Evans, Debo, London, Olave. I'd probably say give me Evans, give me Debo, give me Olave, give me London. But I think Evans is probably the best player. I think he had a bad week, but man, he still looks like he's got it. It's just a matter of coverages and defensive scheming against him and all that. But now that Godwin's exploding, I think that there's going to be few double teams that are going to, take him out. Rate best ball. Mahomes, Bryce. You mean Brees, bro? Mahomes, Brees, Barkley, Kyron, Kamara, Steele, Corum, Worthy, Keon, Cooks. D plus W. I don't know what D plus W means, bro. I don't know what D plus W means. Cooks, D plus W. So this team, other than I don't know what the hell D plus W, swear I'm a mind reader, bro. Other than that, I would say if this is Brees Hall and not Bryce, I don't know if you type this on the moon, Moon, but I would say it's a good team, bro. I mean, Kyron, Brees Hall, Barkley, Mahomes, Alvin Kamara. This can't. Is this where did you draft this in the Mania? You couldn't have. This is a good team, though. This is a really good team. Really good team. Lamb. Yeah, you couldn't have drafted this. You couldn't have drafted this. What do you mean this is a best ball? BB best ball. I don't think you're using the right terms here. D plus W, BB's best ball. There's no way you drafted this in best ball. Kyron, Brees Hall, Barkley, Lamb. I don't know what you're saying, Moon. You're going to have to restate something. You're all over the place. All right, here we go. Jeff, appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat, though, Moon. But you're out of this world right now. You're out of pocket. What's he mean? Okay. With Adams out, I need a wide receiver 2 and flex from Waddle, Johnston, and Brian Thomas Jr. and Zamir White. With Adams out, I need a wide receiver 2 and a flex from Waddle, Johnston. Okay, I'm going to go with Waddle and Brian Thomas Jr. I just don't trust anybody else, bro. Shoddy, QB 6 points per TD, 1 point per 10 passing. Start AR5, Geno, Dalton, or Carr, or Fields. I think we're going to go with Dalton. I think Dalton's got the go-ahead with that Bengal matchup. But Geno's not bad either. But AR5 longer term, but for this week, we're going to go Dalton. Wide receiver 3, Judy, Lazard, Watson. You got to go Lazard. He just keeps doing it. Wilson's got a nice matchup, as we talked about earlier. Yeah. Shoddy to the moon. Stay safe. Shoddy and everybody in Florida or wherever you're at, wherever that hurricane is now. Stay safe. Flex 1, full PPR. Braylon Allen, Bucky, BT. Michael Wilson. Waddle. You guys, the way your word salads are one of a kind. Flex 1, full PPR. I'm going to go Braylon Allen. Well, I don't know. I mean, part of me thinks you got to go Waddle. Guys, can we vote on this one? Waddle or Braylon Allen, please? Waddle or Braylon Allen. Or if you like Michael Wilson or BT, you can throw that name down. But let's do a group think on this one. Braylon Allen or Waddle? Braylon Allen or Waddle? Drop it. Pierce, look at the chat response. I think it'll serve you better than, I'll definitely weigh in at the end, but I think that the chat needs to weigh on this one. This one's a tough one, bro. Moon says, underdog, best ball mania, Wandell, and DeMarcus Robinson. Okay, bro, no one's going to get W plus D. Robinson, no one's going to get, but I like the way you think. It's creative. If you were on the moon, and you're sending code messages back to NASA, and they're trying to save your life, and you're telling them the exact parameters of the oxygen intake valve mechanism, and you're reading off the code, and you start abbreviating like that, you're as good as gone. And that was an insane team for best ball. I partly don't believe you. You don't need to send it to me. I don't have time for that. I don't need to verify it. I'm just telling you, it's such a good team. I can't imagine you had that in best ball. You might be our winner. We'll have to see. Wide receiver 2, Wilson or Shakir. I'm probably going to go Shakir. He's a little safer. 2 and 1, give Brian Robinson, London, and Chase Brown for Cup, K9, and Sharbs, and Bucky. That's a big trade. I would say give me the Cup side for sure, bro. Moon, appreciate you. Moon to the moon.
To the moon.
You know, Moon's confusing me all night. Let me confuse you. Moon, I'm sending you to the moon.
To Mars.
All right. Let's go one more draft. So go over to the Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty. There's the link. The link inserts code Smitty for you. The link gets it done. Smash. Okay. Go to the Battle Royale Week 4. It's a $5 draft. Click it, and then click the green button right now. And your boy's going to wait about 5 seconds because of the YouTube delay. And then I'm going to join in. And we're going to open up Underdog. And we're going to drop one like it's hot. Draft starts in 57 seconds. They fill up quick. If you didn't get into one, don't worry. Don't worry at all. You can draft right alongside of us. They go quick anyway. And let me put this on screen here so I can show and share. Barkley, this is a good hire, 78.5. Mike Evans, 64.5 is a really nice one. I'll be doing a higher low show. I'll have more hires and lowers to smash. We did great last week and the week prior on hires and lowers. I did a couple $100 tickets that smashed. It was a good little day. It was a good little day on the underdog front. Rock out. Chuck, thank you both for the super chats. My guys, appreciate you. Pierce says, Allen. 9 Allen to 8 Waddle. Chat said, so I guess Allen. Braylon Allen, wow. I like that, though. Okay, do I go... I'm going to go Rishi Rice here. Pierce, appreciate the super chat and the update. I kind of agree. Allen's so safe. Hey, Smitty, Jordan Mason or Achane rest of season? Come on, you know my answer, Chuck. Even if you had Garendo, it's still Achane. But make sure you're cuffing both those guys. But I love both of them. Super chat from Rockout. Is Aiyuk in the dog house? Yes, he is in the dog house again. Rockout. He's absolutely in the dog. Aiyuk is an absolute disaster. He's out crying and complaining at practice today. And this is coming from the Niner pages. This is not me interpreting it wrong. The exact verbiage used was by Niner pages. The Niner pages everywhere are the ones reporting on this. Their verbiage, not mine. From the Niner communities, they said Aiyuk threw a temper tantrum at practice today because he wasn't wearing red shorts and he didn't want to wear the red shorts. And him and Kyle got in a fight and Kyle walked away and he's put on the red shorts. And he's like, and he like was kicking things and he's a mess. Ayuk's a mess. Pay him $30 million. He's getting $82,000 a day times 365. $30 million a year. He's getting $82,000 a day. This guy can't wear red shorts to work. Have a possible trade offer. His Mason and St. Brown for one of my running backs, either Bijan or Kyron, with Devontae Smith. So don't trade Kyron. So Bijan and Devontae Smith for Mason and St. Brown. I don't know that I do that. Chat, if he has Garendo, and that's the only way I do this. I'm not doing it without Garendo. If he has Garendo or can get Garendo, would you rather have Devontae Smith and Bijan or St. Brown and Mason with Garendo? Can you guys please vote in the chat on that one? Let's see what he says. Let's go. Mike Evans. Think he's a good play this week. What did the chat say? Bijan and Smith, but Cuff Algier. Brown, Garendo. What's the vote? Brown and Garendo. Smith and Bijan. Mason and St. Brown. Waddle is inconsistent. St. Brown and Mason. It's kind of a tough call. I think everybody's torn on it. I don't know. I'd probably lean. I worry about Devontae Smith right now. But he'll be back. He'll be fine. He just got, his bell rung. I guess I would lean. If you get Garendo, I'm going to lean St. Brown. St. Brown and Mason with Garendo. No, never mind. I changed my mind. I hope you didn't hit the button. Go Bijan. Let's bank on Bijan. Can we bank? Can we all just hold hands and bank on Bijan? Let's join a prayer circle. Bijan, please start scoring touchdowns. Let's go Bijan. Okay. All right, let's go with Patty Mahomes here. So Texas, I don't know why you keep complaining though in the chat. Like someone's saying something nice about Smitty. Okay, that's fine. I don't. People do have their own opinions, but like you're hell bent about people having their own opinions and disagreeing with me. Like, just leave them alone, bro. Like, who cares? Let's go with I'm going to go ETN here again. I really like this build with ETN involved. Like, Texas, stop it or don't come here. If you're going to complain and argue with people and tell people they shouldn't agree with the show, they should have their own opinions, Tank Dell this, Tank Dell that. Like, no one's asking you to show up here if you want to just come and cause problems and get on people that love the show. Like, you're literally arguing with people about them loving the show too much and that they need to veer away from it is what you're trying to say. So stop it or you don't need to be here. Plain and simple. Because you're not being productive in the chat at all. So you decide what you want to do. Up at 4 picks. Why can't I argue about certain players? You can. You're arguing about people agreeing with the show too much. That they should go away from the show. They shouldn't love the show. They shouldn't think the show is awesome. That's your stance. Everybody else sees it. Everybody else is going to agree that you're coming with that vibe. You're not trying to just have a nice, healthy debate. You're being argumentative and divisive. So either change it or don't. That's up to you. Okay, if you love coming here, then don't be arguing to other people about how they should change. Just let them think what they want too. It's okay to have different opinions. All right, I'm on the clock here. I've got Kelsey, I've got Mahomes, I got Rashee Rice, I got Evans, I keep feeling like I want to go JT here. He's just such a decent value. It's a tough matchup, but it just feels like the talent is too hard to pass on at this stage. All right, let's see what they say about my trusty old team. 81.7. Oh, they got Nikki and KJ White with better scores. Let's see what they got. Burrow, Bijan, Connor, JJ, DJ Moore, Bowers. Meh. Sorry. All right. KJ, Stroud, Harris. Meh. All right. Here's my squad. Mahomes, ETN, JT. Matchup's tough for JT, but Rice, Evans, and then Kelsey. Obviously the Chiefs get no love right now from anybody. So all right, these super chats. Let me get these out of the way. I was offered BT for my Sharps. Smash. I don't know if that's a smash because Sharps has been playing great. What if Walker gets injured again? He's a great play. So I would say I'd probably rather have BT long term, sure, but I wouldn't call it a smash. Do I take the risk trading K9 for Jacobs and Sharps? I would take Jacobs rock out. That is a good way to get out of your situation for sure. The owner got Sharps. Oh, that's what you're saying. Okay. I was going to say, if you have Sharps, why aren't we waiting on Walker and Sharps? Okay, yeah. Jacobs, I would take Jacobs over Walker. That would be a great move. And that person's got to want to do that too, bro. If trades fail, Bucky, Allen, or Steele this week. I lean Steele. Well, no. Yeah, I lean Steele unless we hear bad news in regards to his workload. Or we don't feel comfortable. There's not enough positive talk. We're worried about Hunt. So, but Allen's a very safe play. You could even put Allen in for safety now, leave him in there, and then make the news change your mind and put Steele in. That might be the best way to look at it. Hey, Smitty, love the show. Patreon member question: Terry, Worthy, or Ford if Mixon plays in my flex? Terry, Worthy, Ford. Mixon, if Mixon played, you got to make sure if he had a miracle, this then goes the way it should go for him, and he plays, you got to make sure he's not limited, because you got two very good options. Worthy and Terry are damn good than a hampered Mixon. So, and Ford's even really, really good. So I'd say almost Terry and Worthy are safest. You know what I mean? But let's get a chat vote. Chat, can we vote on Mixon? With everything right now, Mixon, Terry, Worthy, can you please, and Ford? Mixon, Terry, Worthy, Ford, pick 2. Mixon, Terry, Worthy, Ford, pick 2. Thank you, chat. Mixon, Terry, Ford, and Worthy. I think I'm done for the night. Burn. Smitty, do you normally post player props? I do on my Instagram stories, yes. You'll always find my favorite props on IG with the link to the Underdog Fantasy link that has code Smitty in it and a reminder to use code Smitty. on Underdog to get your free Patrick Mahomes pick this week, to get your 50% match on your first deposit, to play Underdog, to do best ball drafts for week number 4, to get more skin in the game. Maybe your season's in the toilet, or maybe your seasons are great. You just want more skin in the game. Smitty, code Smitty, right here. Code Smitty. Links in the description. Links in the description for those watching the replay. Links in the live chat. Dropping it again right now. And the links on my Instagram. But code Smitty does it as well. But yes, on my IG stories, you'll always find throughout the week. I don't know what day, but you'll see it. Just make sure you keep tabs on it. Appreciate you. Thank you for super chatting the wonderful and very good question. Burn to the moon. I'm out of here. I'm tired. I need some sleep. I need to go do 12,000 steps. Then I need some sleep. Appreciate you all. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the support. Everybody be kind to each other in the chat. This is a great community. And might I mention that over on the Patreon, this community gets extended. So if anybody loves to have this kind of help and positive vibe, no negative vibe over there, or you just get removed. Just telling you. But join the Patreon, $10 a month. Here's the link. This is a way to extend this live chat community 365 24/7 on the Patreon, which is basically an app that it's very easy. The link will download it for you. It's a free app, but to have my Patreon access is $10 a month. Cancel anytime. You get 10 live chat rooms in the app when you click on the Fantasy Football Show. Basically, you're looking at this Patreon page that is my community, and there's 10 live chats in there. And we're just in there talking, 365, 24/7, especially in this game day lounge, the bottom one. This is where we are at during any Thursday game, Monday game, Sunday slated games in the morning, Sunday slated games in the afternoon, Sunday night game. We're just all sitting in here chatting live. Like, oh my God, you see that? Need a touchdown. So join the Patreon. It's the price of a cup of coffee and a half, maybe. Maybe coffee is $10 now. I don't drink coffee, but a cup of coffee. Go to Starbucks one less time or 1.5 less times a month, just for 1 or 2 months, and get instant trade help, live chat. I'll even go over there right now if anybody wants to go over and chat real quickly in the Patreon. I'll be in the general chat. You can see the second one right here. I'll be in the general chat. I'll see you all later. Appreciate all your super chats. You guys absolutely rock. Thank you for all that you do. And on that note, let's end it on Kyron.
He's Kyron. He's 7 feet tall, and he knows how to handle a ball. He's Kyron. He can take frowns and turn them upside down with his touchdowns.
Hey, Chan. Hey, Chan is the man. His haters call him small,
but he is 9 feet tall.
Chan is the man.
Hi. What would you like? Footballs, please. Lots of footballs, please. Coming up.
He's He's Marvin, he's 11 feet tall, and he loves to consume the football. He's Kyler, he's 4 feet tall, but starving Marvin will answer the call. They're Kyler and Marvin.
What is a Lionheart? I am him.
When times get tough, they call on a beast. That beast rises up and starts to feast. Cuss and steel will sharpen and do his part. Because he, the beast, is the lion heart. He is the lion heart. He is the lion heart. He is the lion heart.
Well, no going back now. You sure you want to do this, Kyle? Yeah, we have to. Let's go. Start the procedure.
Masonites assemble.
All right, see you all later. Live tomorrow evening, maybe live beforehand, depending on any breaking news that may or may not drop. But we'll do a Q&A session just like this tomorrow night. See you all tomorrow. And again, if news breaks, I go live whenever news breaks. I'm live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. On top of that, see you all later. Appreciate you. Thank you, Mod Squad.